Welcome into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast, the second segment. We just had Ski Profit do the first one. Now we got our closer, Minty Bets, on Twitter at Minty Bets. Minty, welcome in. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How are you feeling, Drew?
I'm feeling good. Excited to get these games down and some information out there to the listeners. We got the back half of the card, the Sunday back half of the rotation number guys, and the Monday nighter as well. Tampa Bay versus New York Giants. It will be the last one here, Minty. So ready to get into it.
Let's do it. And let's start with a game that you wanted to slip in because I don't think he got to slip this one in. Rotation number 261, 262. The New York Jets at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs laying 19.5 points at home. I think it opened at 20, 21, and the total is set at 49 here. Drew, what do you think of this game? I know you're not one to lay almost 20 points.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you. Let's first start off, Minty. This is a gambler's paradise. Something only a gambler can love here, where you got to lay 20 with the Chiefs or take 20 with the Jets. This is a tough one to choose. I mean, and a lot of people, power ratings wise, Minty, likely have the Chiefs number one and the Jets, if not last, very, very close to last. In my opinion, the last in terms of power ratings wise. And yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned it there, 19.5 with the Jets, near 3 touchdowns here. This is rarefied air, guys. Couple things that throw out there. I believe this is only the fifth time it's been a 20-point spread, which still is available at least one book on the screen right now. So 20 points is the way I would go on the Jets plus 20. And, the degenerate in me feels like you almost got to bet a game like this just because it's a gambler's something only a gambler can love. So yeah, Minty, I might get involved here with the Jets plus 20, especially because the fact the last time they were plus 20-point underdogs, they did cover against the Patriots last season. So that's from the gold sheet there, guys. And make sure to check out the gold sheet if you're interested in good handicapping advice. But Minty, any quick thoughts here on the Jets versus the Chiefs?
I do. And I say it all the time, Drew. The Chiefs are coming off of a blowout win against Denver, but they were playing in Denver. And what I say about teams that play in Denver, they tend to not cover the week after. Don't ask me what the analytics are or the numbers are because I'm not Ralph, but it takes them quite a while, a little over a week to acclimate back to their normal altitude. So I also like the Jets. I don't know if I'll bet it, though. I don't know if 20 points is really enough for me, but I'm really interested to see how this one pans out.
No, that's a great stat. I something I left out here in terms of the Chiefs leaving Denver, almost like in the NHL when you have the Vegas hangover. The NHL teams not playing well the game after they were in Vegas. Something similar has happened in the NFL, leaving Denver. So that's a great point, Minty, and a great way to start off the podcast here with the Jets and the Chiefs. 20-point spread. Not something everybody loves, but some gamblers do enjoy it. We got the LA Rams at the Miami Dolphins up next, 263, 264. Interesting handicaps here, Minty. I really interested in your analysis. We got the Rams -3 in the hook in Hard Rock Stadium, 46 being the total in South Florida, Minty.
So this is going to be Tua's first NFL career start for Miami, and this game is probably a no play for me. He was great in college, but we know college and NFL is totally different, scoring and the way you play and everything. He's a young mobile quarterback, but rookie quarterbacks don't tend to put up impressive numbers their first start. A little concerning that the Rams are coming off kind of a shorter week, and they're traveling from west to east. I don't know how much it'll affect them, but their defense is too difficult for me to want to bet against them. So I would lay the 3.5 or 4 with the Rams here. And interested to see how you are thinking because you're big on college football. So how do you think Tua will perform in his first start?
Well, one, Tua, you could make the argument, and I'm not saying he is, but the argument's there in terms of, like you said, analytics. He graduates college, or I don't know if he graduated, but he leaves college he's the number 1 and number 2 most efficient passer in college football history, meaning in one of his seasons, he's ranked number 1. And then in another season, he was ranked number 2 in college football passing efficiency rating. It is Tua at number 1 and number 2. So that in itself is a very cocky stat, very, projecting well for him. Now you could make the argument, Minty, he has Alabama recruits blocking for him, and catching for him. So that's a huge advantage. I think he's going to be very good in the NFL. Now, out the gate, I don't think the Dolphins – I kind of disagree with what they're doing here. I mean, a 500 team, I think Fitz has played well at the quarterback position. From everything, all the quotes in the locker room, the locker room was behind him. So to kind of change it, I almost feel like they're ripping the rug out under his feet type deal. I kind of feel bad for him. But it's not about feeling bad. It's about winning games. So they're the ones watching practice. And if they're going to put Tua in now off of the bye week, it could be a good situation for him. But I just see, right in front of the center is going to be Aaron Donald. That's not exactly, that's a welcome to the NFL type moment for Tua. And if he gets a hold of him, Tua coming off of an injury, we'll see what happens. But overall, I think Tua is going to have a great career here in this game. I mean, breaking it down for who I would bet on in this game, the Rams laying 3 in the hook. I think that could be an important hook there on the 3. A lot of people are going to point to the Rams having success in the Eastern time zone. But Minty, a lot of that is against the NFC East team. So I think that that's a little bit misleading here. They are going against the Dolphins, not power rated as one of the top teams, but a 500 team and a team that's fighting hard for Brian Flores. So I kind of like the home underdog here, plus the 3 in the hook, Minty.
Okay. And you know what? You make a good point about Fitzpatrick. I think he was great. I think it's such bad timing to pull him now. I mean, they're on a hot streak. Just keep it rolling. But it also makes sense that they have to make sure that their backup is going to be good if anything were to happen to Fitzpatrick. And I mean, he's only getting older and he has been part of so many teams and has been part of the league for so many years. So they have to make sure that Tua is good to go if anything happened to Ryan. So I don't agree with it, but it does make sense. And hey, everyone, thanks for commenting. I mean, we're getting so many comments already. You did not miss the Pitt game, Bleds. And hey, Abby, thanks for watching. And thank you, Superman, for the wishes on the success. I think Superman here actually, I believe on all our YouTube videos, if I'm not mistaken, is like the hero of the YouTube videos because he actually breaks down every single time of like what starts, like what segment on Bet On It starts, like, hey, this is where they talk about the Rams and Dolphins. This is where they talk about blah, blah, blah. Like he's the one that breaks down minute by minute who it is. If it's the same guy, I'm thinking, but anyway.
I believe it is. Are you calling him Superman or I always called him Spurman. I'm not sure exactly what is. Well, let us know either Spur or Superman. And yeah, I agree with the timestamps. That's huge. I don't even think he's on the WagerTalk payroll. I'm not really sure on that, Minty.
I don't think so either. I call him Superman because I call him like a hero because, people don't want to scroll through everything. So Superman does it for us and tells us and our followers and listeners where to click if they want to reach a certain segment. So anyway, thanks, Super or Spurman.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat box overall as well. Lauren Williams, Bleeds, Abby Jackson, saying hi to Minty. And yes, Minty, a mainstay here on the Every Game on the Board podcast each and every Wednesday, the WagerTalk YouTube channel. If you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a comment below as well. Also, if you're liking the content, please smash the like button. It does help us out. And remember, wherever you're downloading your podcasts at, if you want sports betting information, one of the best sports betting podcasts out there, remember Sports Memo podcast. Heading down the list here, Minty, rotation number 267, 268, your New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. We're seeing the Saints -4, 43.5 the total in Soldier Field, Minty.
Okay, so the Saints are coming off a close win against the Panthers. The Saints truly should have lost that game because I expected the Panthers to win, especially with how sloppy New Orleans is looking lately. I can see this particular game being close. I don't want to overreact to what I saw from the Bears on Monday Night Football, so I lean the under here. Their offense scores less than 21 points per game, and their defense allows about 20 points per game. Also, it's supposed to be a little windy in the Windy City on game day. And I know that total is pretty low, which is why I'm personally not betting on it, but I do lean the under here.
Windy in the Windy City. That was a good one, Minty, like that. We got San Francisco at Seattle up next, 269, 270. The rotation numbers 425 Eastern, 125 Pacific kick here, 53.5 being the total, with the Seahawks laying 3 or 2.5 across the board right now, Minty.
Ooh, okay, perfect. And the Superman just let us know it's super, as in super. Thank you, sir. So this might be one of the best defenses that the Seahawks will face this season. They had an off game. The Seahawks had an off game last week against their division rival, the Cardinals, who I bet against. My God. The Seahawks are still one of the best teams offensively as they score an average of 33 points per game. They're second in passing yards and 12th in rushing yards. Yeah, their defense sucks, and people remind me all the time, but like, it doesn't really seem to matter. They keep finding ways to win. Even with San Francisco's defense, I still feel like the over is the play here, as I think Seattle will bounce back, and San Francisco will have a great game offensively because Seattle can just like let them right through like they let every other team right through. I'm not feeling really risky enough to bet a side here, but I do lean the Seahawks, but I like the over better.
Okay, looking towards the over, San Francisco versus Seattle. Also, Superman shouting out here. He's retired living in Thailand there, Minty.
What?
So that's pretty cool.
That's
watching.
Cool.
Yeah, watching on the other side of the world.
Thailand. Yeah, that's so cool. My family lives in Thailand. So shout out to you, Superman. I like it.
Cool. Thailand's the place to be, huh, Minty?
It is the place to be. I miss it so much. Not that I ever lived there, but I mean, my family lives there. So cool place, definitely.
Awesome. Well, we got 271, 272 up next. Dallas at Philadelphia. Limited marketplace here, Minty. Any quick thoughts on Cowboys Eagles?
Yes, I do, actually. I have a little bit. I really misread this Dallas team. They're favored. Hold on. The Eagles are favored by 7 and the hook is what I'm seeing. 7.5, right? And the total...
Yeah, I'm not seeing many numbers at all out there. I'm seeing some offshore books. Bookmaker, Chris, the Costa Rican International Sportsbook, -7.5. I'm seeing a total at Pinnacle of 43.5.
Yes, so I really misread this Dallas team. I thought they were going to be the best team in that division. Now the 2-4-1 Eagles are the best team in that division. I thought even after Dak left that Andy Dalton could pick things up and maybe even perform better than Dak did. But it's right for where the line is. I don't trust the Eagles to win by more than a touchdown, but I can only see the Eagles winning this one. And I guess if you have to bet it, I would bet the Eagles. And I would lay the 7. I can certainly see the under here as it's set a little too low for me, especially in this 2020 year where all the overs have been hitting. If it was at 45.5 or higher, I would definitely take the under in a heartbeat. But I just feel like maybe Dallas can get through Philly's secondary. I don't know. My thoughts are really the Eagles have to win this one. There's no way Dallas is going to win this one. And then I like the under.
All right, looking towards the under and maybe Philly as well. We got the LA Chargers at the Denver Broncos as well. A mile high here, Minty. We're seeing the Chargers -3 or -3 in the hook. Some opinion in the marketplace. So, guys, a good one to shop around. 44.5 being the total in this one, Minty.
Yeah, Herbert's been playing really freaking well. I was on the Jags last week at +7.5, and it was so painful because it was going my way the entire time, and the Jags could have just won outright at one point. But I guess it doesn't matter how the game is going. It just matters how it ends up, as us bettors know. The Chargers are reasonably priced here against the Broncos. Hold on. Broncos. Sorry. I don't know why I typed something weird. I really wish that the Broncos, I really wish I could take the Broncos here and trust them because of location just in general. But Drew Lock threw for 240 yards for no touchdowns and 2 picks. Not surprised they got blown out by the Chiefs last week because they're the Chiefs. But the Broncos haven't really impressed, and the Chargers are 5-1-1 against the spread. So I think if I had to, I would bet the Chargers here.
All right, looking towards the Chargers in that one. A mile high at Denver. We got the right-in game here, Minty, 281, 282. Some people asking about it in the chat box. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. We're seeing the Ravens anywhere from -3.5 to -4.5, 46.5 being the total, Minty.
I really like this game, and I'm interested to hear what you're going to have to say, but I'll go first, I guess.
Okay.
Big Ben's age is showing. He looked great that first half against the Titans, but a little too risky in that second half. Excuse me. The Steelers defense looking great, allowing only 3.4 yards per carry, recording the most sacks so far this season with 26. This could definitely be a huge factor in forcing Lamar to work on that arm instead of running it himself or handing the ball off. The Steelers are 5-1 against the spread. I don't like to make it complicated. I wish I had bet this game in time to get the Steelers +5.5. We see it up to 4 right now. Maybe it'll move up. But, it moved down to 3.5 at one point, now at 4. I would still bet it now. And I think the Steelers win straight up as well as underdogs.
Yeah, and Minty, my quick thoughts here, Baltimore being really an ATS machine, 5-1 straight up for the first time since the Super Bowl winner in 2012. They've dropped just 4 of their last 17 versus the spread. So, I mean, they've been making some money. And by the way, guys, those stats coming from the Gold Sheet. Check it out, the Gold Sheet at Sports Memo or WagerTalk.com. I like the Ravens to win here, Minty. I'm just not into laying points, especially more than 3. You know, the key number of 3 in the NFL with this Ravens team, because I think they're more built to win close games. Now, we have seen this line. I mean, jet down. This is one of the biggest movers you'll really see in the NFL. And what opened 6.5, now it's now down to 4, even 3.5 at some leading indicator books. So depending how low this goes, I doubt we'll see a 3. But if we do, I would be interested in betting the Ravens.
Absolutely. And I think Abby made a good point, and I'm looking this up right now. All these Pittsburgh and Baltimore matchups have hit the under in basically all their games. And as you know, Ralph Michaels has given us a stat. Since 2014, the Steelers on the road are 78.2% to the under. And that's right, they've hit the under in quite a few games. These are too many numbers to look at like on the fly, so I'm just going to exit that out. And also, Steelers being, oh, you know what? They're underdogs. Never mind. So so I also lean the under because I think it's set pretty high here at 46. I think or not 46. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong game. My God, sorry, guys. I'm just like a mess. 46.5. Yeah, I think that's set pretty high for the Steelers, and I think their defense will hold the Ravens off really well.
Okay, good stuff, Minty, there in the right-in game. Pittsburgh versus Baltimore. Guys, we got one game left, the Monday nighter, Tampa Bay versus the New York Giants. Then ask Minty for maybe a best bet for the section. But first, want to give her a shout-out. Follow her on Twitter at Minty Bets. She's also doing stuff there with Yahoo Sportsbook. Yes, that's the famous Yahoo that you might have heard about, the publicly traded Yahoo, and really good Twitter follow. She's also the WagerTalk Instagram running that as well, which is huge. A bunch of followers there on Instagram giving out free plays. I'm part of the crew there giving out a free play each and every week. Minty, is there anything I missed that we should be shouting you out for?
Nope, that's it. Just Yahoo Sportsbook and WagerTalk Instagram, and of course my Twitter, Minty Bets. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah, and guys, make sure to check out WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. We got the $199 special, meaning you get any handicappers picks in both college and NFL football for just $199 for the month of November. That's a huge discount there. And plus, you get the rest of October as well. So we got Halloween Saturday night in Las Vegas, but we got the Monday nighter as well. Minty, are you dressing up for Halloween?
I am. For Yahoo, I'm on every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 Eastern Time. I'm on their fantasy football live show as their betting analyst. And this weekend, I'm going to be dressing up as Andy Reid, everyone. Don't take my costume, but you heard it here first. I'm going to be wearing a fogged up face shield and a nice Hawaiian shirt. So that should be interesting. What are you dressed up as, Drew? You're going to do something for Halloween.
Well, I first got to say, just guys, imagine looking at Minty and then seeing Andy Reid. How is this going to work? I'm not sure how it's going to come out, but I'm sure it will be good in your costume. Can't wait to see that one. I haven't decided yet. It was kind of going down the loop here. I'm not really sure, so I'm going to have to be a game time decision on that on the Las Vegas Strip late on Saturday night, Minty.
You'll have to be very creative for sure if it's going to be last minute.
Okay, well, we got Ben asking, Minty, I'll follow you anywhere. What's the lock? We'll get her best bet for this section, guys. Just hold on 1 second. We got the Monday nighter to break down. Tampa Bay at the New York Football Giants, 46, the total in MetLife with the Bucks, the Tom Brady Bucks, laying 10 in the hook or minus 11, depending what sports book you want to go off of.
This is kind of a game where I'm like, why bother watching? We know the Bucks are probably going to blow out the Giants. I mean, the Giants look awful. Their defense is allowing 50% of third downs to be converted, and Danny Dimes is kind of a hit or miss. He's very uncoordinated too. I think I underestimated Tom Brady too much, and I think he's going in thinking that he's going to flop this season, but he's still got a little juice in him, and that offense is really getting it together. I like the Bucks minus 10.5 here. I also lean the under 46 as Tampa's defense against the run and the pass are pretty solid. I think they'll be able to contain New York easily, but I don't know if I would lay the 10.5. My bet here would be the under.
Looking towards the under. Okay, good stuff, Minty. There in the Monday nighter, we got Tampa Bay at the New York Giants. That'll be a fun one with Tom Brady playing against the New York team. Probably a lot of tickets written. I don't know. I might wait as long as possible, Minty. See if this thing touches 12 or 13, and maybe look to get on the underdog New York Football Giants.
Of course you are. And how about them Dodgers? I know you had the Rays last night, but did you have a future on the Dodgers or the Rays?
I did not. No, I'm not a big future guy. I just think it costs a little bit too much. But yeah, I mean, the Rays, I was on them plus 128 and took the loss. But, huge shout out to the Dodgers. And by the way, Minty, did want to take a chance to say, this MLB season, interested in your thoughts because I know you're a big MLB fan and follow it closely. I think with it going down to a 60-game season and them expanding the playoffs, I hope Rob Manfred, which I'm not a big fan of, but if he's able to do this, I think it would be huge. I think MLB should run with this and go from 162 games, maybe down to 100 games and expand the playoffs. But I'll throw it over to you. Any quick thoughts here on what you think MLB should do going forward?
I totally agree. Honestly, I think the normal regular season is just a little too long. And even like with this shortened season, I kind of lost interest a little bit. But probably because I was losing all my bets. Like I was so cold this season, and I even talked to you about it. I was like, Drew, I cannot win a baseball pick, but I was okay in futures. But I don't want to wait that long. I think they should shorten the regular season and expand the playoffs. I really like the format this season that they did. And I'm not happy the Dodgers won because I'm not a Dodgers fan, but I do love everyone on that team. So go Dodgers.
All right. And guys, we're running up against it. But Minty, any a best bet you wanted to throw out there of any of the games, anyone you're the most confident in?
That Steelers game, if I can get Steelers +4, +4.5 or higher, I would definitely bet it. I should bet it actually right after the show. And I also like the under. Abby is also on the under. That's her best bet or his best bet. So I'm also on the under. I think those two bets will cash. And of course, I'm going to sprinkle a little on Pittsburgh money line because I truly think they will still remain undefeated after this game.
All right, good stuff as always, Minty. Looking towards the Steelers there, plus the points. Maybe sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Huge shout out to the chat box, guys. It was live. Lauren Williams, we got Robert in here, Ben, all you guys. Jorge, welcome in. Thank you. If you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a comment below, and please smash the like button on your way out. We'll be right back in 2 minutes here. College football, every game on the board on the WagerTalk YouTube. Minty, any closing words before we shut this down?